Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Stating the Obvious, and we're going to start this episode just like we start all the other ones and have everyone state something obvious. And let's start with Brene because maybe I can catch him off guard.
You always do, but this time I have not been caught off guard
Sure
because
thing.
yeah. So this is something obvious, but it's also not very obvious. But whenever you like walk anywhere, or like so for example, if you walk around the world, then your head will have traveled a bigger distance than your feet because the curvature of the world and stuff.
I
Okay.
guess so.
I think that makes sense.
Yeah, there you
Yep.
go.
I buy it.
But
I
so
think.
and then also in the same case, whenever you travel anywhere, your feet, like your head travels more than your feet.
I see. Well, you took physics C, so I'm inclined to believe you on this one.
But I guess
Yeah.
when you say feet, that's both. So wouldn't you double the number? Because each foot
Okay,
travels.
you know what, like, I don't know, your waist. It's traveling further than your
Sure.
waist.
Your waist. Okay.
Sure.
Changing up the argument over here, Brene. Changing up the facts.
Yeah, that's how we like to do it.
Yeah. All right. That sounds kind of sus. I'm not gonna lie, but with that, let's take it to Noah. Noah, what you have for us today?
Water is good for you. Stay hydrated.
Yep,
This is the
that's a
classic
good idea.
Mr.
Drink some water right now.
Mm-hmm.
Good fact.
Tasty, very tasty.
Is it really tasty though?
No,
Yeah,
it doesn't taste like anything. That's the
I
whole
mean,
point.
It
That's the
depends what
thing,
kind
though,
of
like,
water
when
you
you're a
have.
kid, you're like, oh man, water doesn't taste like anything. But like, you start to realize and appreciate that, like, that's kind of the beauty of it. It's just refreshing. It's not a taste. It's just a sensation.
It's just
an
water.
experience.
It's just water. Yeah,
It's
dude.
just
Water.
I've always thought about how
water.
like where people back when like I don't know the human race was like first just a thing like becoming a thing. Were they
Popping
just
out
like,
of the
I should
can.
just go drink this thing? Like, how, is there just like an animalistic sense? Like, I just
Yeah.
want to go
Yeah,
drink water.
I think there's an animal instinct.
You
I mean,
think
like, you see,
yeah,
like,
inherent
100%.
like you think like a deer is like going out there like making like a cost benefit analysis on whether or not they should drink from the stream. They're just like, no, I thirsty, I drink. Like, I mean, like evolutionarily speaking, like the animals that like didn't realize that when they're thirsty they should drink water, they died. So,
I suppose so. That makes sense.
yep.
Unless they're fish.
Oh,
Ooh.
Oh, God, with
oh,
his own
Wait,
analysis.
do you think fish ever get thirsty?
Fish never get thirsty, but they still need water to survive because they use the oxygen to breathe.
Ooh.
they get thirsty when they see that cutie looking goldfish swimming by, dude.
Yeah.
That was oddly specific.
Just
I have a
see
very
quite
nice
a few
relationship
cutie
with Finding
goldfish.
Nemo.
You've
All
seen
right,
quite a
all
few
right.
cutie
We're gonna
goldfish
stop
in
you
his
right
time.
there. I don't want the FBI shutting down our podcast.
Okay, with that wild turn of events, let's take it to hopefully our best fact of the episode, Jacob.
Yeah, so this is very thematic for stating the obvious. An obvious fact is percentages are reversible, which means that 50% of 6 is the same thing as 6% of 50, but one is a
Mhm.
lot easier to do in your head.
I did not know this until it was too late.
This is true.
Yeah,
Yeah, it
Cobb
is.
with the fact. Cobb with the fact.
I'm telling you right now, if somebody had told me that when I was like in third grade, I would have been like so poggers on the math tests. But
But honestly, like a lot of times when they give you like percentages like that, they'll be this if you do like 47% and 2 and like if you do like weirder numbers it becomes harder, but like with 50% it's easier, right? Because you just kind of
Yeah,
like
or even
Yeah.
flip it.
like 8% of 25, 25% of 8. Like one's a lot easier to do.
It's
I mean,
true.
I guess it's like
But like
dependent
these
on like
numbers 25, 50, 70, they're like nice numbers to
Yeah,
do
I guess if
percentages
you
for.
do it with like more obscure numbers, either way it's hard, but at least it
Yeah.
gives you two options to think
Okay,
about
wait,
something.
am I
whichever way.
True.
am I the only one who doesn't trust my own mental math? Like
Yes.
I have been known on like
I am a kid genius, Noah.
when I'm on math tests and like I'm like dividing 6 by 2, right? I have to write it out just to make sure my brain isn't bamboozling me. I just
Okay,
can't
no,
trust it.
I will say, like, I feel like this is a fairly common thing. Like, even though you're like kind of OP, like, say, Like I find myself to this day just still checking like basic stuff
I
on a
know, right?
calculator.
Like I'm just like, no, 5 times 2 is 10, right? Like
Yeah,
I'm not being
I
No,
foolish,
actually do this
right?
every time.
it's because
Especially,
we have the
especially
choice.
if you
Yeah.
have the calculator on the test.
Yeah.
On the
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
calculator,
like
you don't do any mental math.
I just feel like my mental math is just very sus. Like it's not like even like it's failed me before. It's not like I've just fucked up just massively. It's just like there's just this abiding sense of insecurity that comes whenever I do any mental math. I'm just like, oh
No, it's
man,
because
what?
you've gotten so accustomed to the calculator. Like, once you hit like pre-cal and stuff, or even like before that, they're like, "Here, use a You, like, you get to use calculators on your exams." And at that point, like all of your mental math thinking just goes straight out the window. You're like,
I
65 by
mean,
2. Let me check that. 10 times 2. Let me
I mean,
check
like
that.
not even like when I had calculators, right? Like I'm talking like even back in like middle school when like they just gave you a pen and paper. I would write out on the paper 5 times 2 equals 10 just to make sure I'm not fucking with myself.
Okay, I didn't do that, but
Writing it and like thinking about it, like there's literally no difference for 5 times 2.
I know, but it just feels more permanent when it's on the paper.
I have
Like
to
when it's in
say
your
I
head, like
agree with
it's
Noah on
not
this one.
like
Alright, fair,
like it could
fair.
disappear at any time. You can't trust your own
it's
mind.
but like if you're taking an exam, like doing that is just so inefficient. And when exams like have a time crunch, you literally like don't have time to
I
be
mean,
like
that's when you
writing
just
out
that's
5
when
times
you
2.
like
Like, you gotta do half of it
you gotta
mentally.
write it quickly. You gotta write it quickly. You gotta just scribble it.
Okay, well, Pranay has probably taken like has gone the furthest in terms of math classes between the 4 of us for some reason because this man likes math.
He's
But
not good with words, but he's good with numbers.
yeah, there you go. That's
Yep.
why North Carolina never worked out. Hey,
Maybe he could have
previous
written it
episode
for an
reference.
equation. Maybe he could have just gone like, no, me plus you equals good.
You think she would have fallen for that dip?
I think she would have.
I think that would have been so stupid that she might have thought it was adorable.
Yeah, I gotta agree with Noah here actually.
Maybe. Maybe I should do that in the future.
Okay, but Pranay, since you've taken like you've gone the furthest in terms of the
Okay.
math route, do you still like if you're taking like a multivariable calc exam or whatever exam you're taking now, do you still find yourself like writing like these tiny sorts of mental math
Okay,
parts of
well,
questions?
actually, most of my classes right now, most of my math classes, they don't allow a calculator. But the interesting thing is the econ test that I take, they do allow calculators. I will be checking my stuff for econ for some random reason. Like, I don't even know. Like it's a very basic thing. So first I do the mental math, and then at the very end, I'm just like, when I have time to check my work, I'm just like, okay, you know what? I know I'm really stupid. Like I know this is a thing. There's by no doubt I will have made a mistake somewhere on this thing. So then I go back and I check and just put it in the calculator all the different things.
But is there a time crunch for this test, or is it like very very open?
Okay. So for time crunch tests, I'm just like, fuck it. If I made a mistake, I made it. I need to go to the next question. Uh, for like if I have time, like multi, I think our final, I checked this one question so many goddamn times. It's like holy.
Did you get it right?
I don't remember. I mean, like I don't know because we didn't get to see the final.
Yeah.
What'd
Okay.
you get on the final exam, if you don't mind me asking?
I mean, I think I know I got an A. I don't know what I forgot what exactly it
Okay, I
was.
see.
I mean, I didn't really need that high either.
Yeah.
Soon.
So I guess
Yeah.
the verdict is, if you have time, you check everything, even 1+1. But if you don't
Yeah.
have time, just screw it.
You just
But
have to go. Sometimes you just have to go.
You
Like,
just gotta go.
yeah, you just gotta
no,
do
you
it.
had Tabanian, right? In
Oh
her
my
calculus?
god, dude,
Yeah,
Tabanian.
whenever she made the test, like she would make sure like you gotta like spend time on every question, but
Beat boy.
like by the time
Dude,
you reach the last question and you finish it, like you don't have time to check. Like
like one of the things
you're
about
done.
Tabanian is that like she will be very honest with your class. Like she'll be like, "Oh yeah, this next test is hard. You guys are fucked," and we'll be like, "Oh man,"
Wait,
'cause
she's actually the best teacher though. Like hands down, I think the best calc teacher out at.
I mean, like, okay, like the only thing I didn't like about Tabanian is that whenever I went to like tournaments and stuff, and I had to leave class, she would tell me to make up the test like at like literally like 7:30 a.m. the next day.
Oh,
which
really?
I mean, there's like
Did she
some
like
people.
you?
I don't know, probably not.
Probably
I don't know,
not.
because
I mean,
we came back from the weekend we came back from Harvard, like, I was in her class, it was, like, 6 period or something, and I was just so like, it was a Monday, right? It was the Monday after we
Yeah.
got back, and, like, we flew in, like, I was super tired, no sleep, uh, and she said I fall asleep in her class, like, no cap, I fall asleep, but I have the person in front of me as a shield because 'cause I'm not, like,
Oh
stupid,
my
right? Like,
god.
I'm not gonna fall asleep, like, right in front of her, so I just kinda just hide behind the person in front of me, and I doze off, but she notices, and she's like, "It's completely fine. I know you're at Harvard or whatever for your
What?
debate tournament," and she was so
What?
chill about it, and she was just like,
Bro, the
"It's
weekend after
fine."
Harvard when we came back
The
from that fucking plane ride, I had to wake up at 6:30 next day because she made me take the test at 7:30.
Oh, I took the test before we left. Because I asked her,
you
before we were
fool.
leaving,
What the
I was
fuck?
like,
You
"Yo, I'm
fool.
leaving. Can I just take the test?" And she was like, "Sure."
Yeah, see, like, I can't do that because, like, the entire time I was in calculus, I was behind, so I
Oh
needed
yeah,
that
you
extra
can't
time to
take
study.
it. Did you use this study?
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, okay.
I still got, like, a D, though, so it didn't really matter in the end. Dude,
It's
I'm
just
actually
it's a
so proud of the fact that
responsibility.
I managed to get a B in calculus. Like, do you have any idea how hard I had to work for that B? Like, I shit you not. You look at my grades, half of them were below a C, which means I had to, on average, pull up. Like, I was literally going A, D, A, D, A, D. Because, like, what would happen is I'll
No
take a
one's
test.
scraping out here in calculus.
Yeah, dude. I was AD
88.
scraping.
Oh wait, that's not the things they're strafing.
I swear to God, like, cause like, what would happen, right? Is like, I'd be like, I'd take a test, I would fuck up, and like, I'll be like, oh fuck, dude, I can't fail calculus. So I would spend all my time just cramming for the next test. I would somehow eke out an A, right? And then after that, I'll be like, all right, I'm good, I'm good. I can focus on my 6 other classes now. And then the next test, I'll get another D. I'll be like, oh fuck,
So
I gotta.
you're the human incarnation of the meme. You were like, "Oh, I got a D, panic."
Panic.
Okay, calm.
Calm.
And
Get a
then you
D.
get another D, panic.
That was legitimately me the entirety of senior year. It was
Oh,
not.
that's so funny.
Hey, but
I
at least you ended on
Holy.
calm. At least you ended on the calm. You got a beat, calm.
Yeah.
You did not end on the panic.
Oh my god. Ugh,
No, did you get credit for? Did you get AP credit
I
for calculus?
did. I
Yeah,
got a
you got a
4. I got a
you got a
4 on
4.
it,
Very
which
nice.
is
Now you
And
never have
you
a
should have
one
seen
without
Noah's
it's
AP.
pop
so
off when he got a
funny.
4. I
I
asked Noah what he got. He's like, "I got a 4, dude. Let's go."
Dude, like, I didn't even answer all of the free response. I didn't answer any of the free response questions fully. Like, I'll start a free response question, like, get like halfway through it, I'll be like, "Fuck, I don't remember how to do this." Move on to the next one. Get halfway through it. Fuck, I don't remember how to do this. Move on to the next one. Somehow I still got a 4. Don't
That's
ask me
because the
how.
curve on that test is like an exponential.
I know.
The
Oh yeah,
curve
the
is
curve is
insane. It's so boosted.
big
Oh my
boy,
god, dude.
bro.
Those the free response questions are legitimately, like, very difficult, so no one
Yeah.
gets them right entirely.
I
I
think
Ugh.
the
remember
curve.
when I took it too, like it was like, when all like Vincent, Puck, like all the OP people took it too, and like even then people were just like, holy shit, bro, like what is this? And we all like we looked at each other, we looked at the side that we flipped through the pages, and everyone's just like, what? Like I remember flipping through the pages, I was like, first question, I was like, okay, it's fine. One question is fine. I go to the second question, I'm just like, okay, 2 questions. I mean, that's okay, I guess. Like I don't know. And then the third question, I'm like, bro, I need to know how to do what. I need at least one. Uh,
Oh man.
I mean, but still, the
I,
curve is
I
kind of
think
OP. So.
the AP tests were online this year, right? And they like posted, or like they tweeted out the like percentages of people who got fives and stuff on each test, and the ratio of fives to other like past years fives, I think seems to be a lot higher.
Well,
Oh man.
Reasonably
I'm
so, but
I mean, like,
I
you get to
still
take
don't
an
know. Like,
exam online, couple of things are gonna happen,
yeah, but a
kind
lot
of
of
is
people
what
get
it is.
credit for that. Like, I don't know. That just seems. I don't know, man.
I mean,
Would
like,
you
in
not
all
know?
honesty, like, I don't see why, like, you shouldn't be able to have access to the internet if you're taking an exam. I mean, like, you're gonna have access
Also,
to the
like,
internet anyways.
quite honestly, AP exams are not that difficult if you just study, like, not even for that long. Like, if you just, like,
Right.
study a bit, for the super hard ones, they'll curve it, like, kind of insane, like,
Oh
for
yeah.
calculus. For, like, the easier ones, for, like, macroeconomics, like,
Well,
Like,
no.
come on, son, come on, son.
Physics 1 has the lowest curve. I think I was the only one to take Physics 1, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I did, yeah. No, and
Physics
I
1
just kind of
has the lowest curve of all time. Like, I think only like
Swear to
3%
God.
of people
I
are
had the worst physics teacher.
wait,
Like,
wait, hold on. Before that,
okay,
Jacob, is the physics exam easy? Is the physics one exam easy?
So the Physics 2 exam is easy, like no question, like super easy. The Physics 1 exam is actually pretty hard, but
uh,
I like the teacher we had, Grizzle at West, like he does a really really good job like preparing you
I
for it. So
swear to
like
God, dude. I
I think like not 50, but like probably like 20-30% of people get a 5 from his
Dude,
class.
I had
It's
the
like
worst
5
physics
times
teacher.
higher.
I had fucking bridge, okay? Like like
I've
her
never even
entire
heard
like
of her
she,
name
she
until
was
this point.
literally a coach.
Oh, it's a
She
him.
was
Oh,
a
okay.
coach teaching physics. She did not know how to teach physics. She just did what the other teachers told her to. She couldn't answer any of our questions.
Didn't she get
I,
like pregnant and leave or something?
I heard that she went to go coach for American Ninja Warrior, which is what she should have been doing all along instead of teaching physics.
What? You
No,
can
you
What
need
coach
the
for
heck?
that?
no, you need the physics to coach American Ninja Warrior.
I swear to
Yeah,
God,
no.
dude.
No, have you
Like,
seen those obstacles? Physics is the key to beating those.
she made us watch. Okay, I swear to God, right? She made us watch on Valentine's Day a video of her twerking because apparently her fiance for Valentine's Day gave her the gift of getting her a dance coach to teach her how to twerk, and she thought that was romantic. So she showed us her physics class a video of her twerking. Let me tell
She
you
was
right
just giving
now,
you an
there's
example
one
of yeah, she was just giving you an example of law of conservation of momentum, man.
dude, she gave me a lesson in law of conservation of my eyeballs because I closed my eyes the entire fucking time.
You know, object in motion stays in motion, object at rest definitely stays at rest in this case.
Oh my
Unless
God.
acted on by an outside force, buddy.
There is one thing you do not want to see in this world, and that is your physics teacher twerking.
I can't
It
even
was
imagine
so cringe. It was
Can't
so
say
cringe.
that I
Like
have seen my physics teacher
I'm
twerk.
cringing right now, even just thinking. Like I remember looking at the people like sitting to the right and left of me. They were like looking at me. We're just like looking at each other, like, what the fuck is happening right now?
What was happening?
Our
that. You just
teacher was
told me.
showing us a video of her
No.
twerking.
well, no, at least you didn't have my physics teacher. Honestly, mine was kind of
Yeah,
worse.
you chef.
I had Barker. He was just a super grumpy old
Oh
man.
yeah.
Dude, he'd sit at his desk and he was just so grumpy all the time. I was like, who hurt you?
Probably his
But
mother.
he's actually he's really good at physics. Like he's a smart dude. But he was just angry at everyone. And we had to build these mousetrap cars or whatever for physics honors. And I think he just like broke someone's and he was like, just do it again.
I think
No,
you know what Barkos could use? I think he could use a vacation.
probably.
Or
Probably.
twerking lessons.
Like, to the
No,
Bahamas.
and speaking of vacations, did you know that Disney World recently reopened? They're
Yeah, yeah.
like
I
they're
heard
letting
about that.
people in. They're doing the whole shebang. It's
I,
kind of
I
wild to think
I don't know
like
about it, man. Like,
Spain
I
is
think that's
spiking
stupid.
in
like
California, Texas, Florida, and Disney World was like, "Hey, I see,
I have places in both
I see that number,
California
and I
and Florida.
raised you. I
I
raised you," and they opened.
read this article saying that in the month of March alone, so March and April, sorry, so like the lockdown stuff started like halfway through March about, and so
Yeah, somewhere in there.
March and April, Disney like combined out of all of their like assets, they lost over $1 billion in that 1 month alone.
Honestly, that's fine though.
They have so many more billions.
I
So
know.
Right, but they could be making so many more, which is why they like obviously that's
I
why they
mean,
reopened.
it's
But
it's honestly irresponsible though, because like here's the thing, right? Like Disney World is explicitly designed for children. Like I know Viswa goes there still, like wants to go there still because he's still a kid at heart. But like, I mean, like his main primary audience is like basically elementary school age kids, right?
hey,
Which means they're not going there on their own. They're going there because their parents are taking them, which
look,
is
no,
honestly so irresponsible.
just because I listen to Phineas and Ferb songs does not make me a child.
to be fair,
Okay,
I think
I
Disney
mean,
is like you can go there at any age and still there's an experience
exactly.
to
No, I don't
enjoy.
discriminate.
no, I mean, okay, let's be honest, right? Like you're not going
Also,
to see like
in
a
my
goofy
defense,
costume.
okay, I've started to like slide towards Universal a bit more, just because I think the rides there are a bit more fun.
But like, okay, you get what I'm saying though,
Really, this
right?
is
Like,
Yeah,
because
controversial
like
yeah,
you
talk.
like
can make the argument that like the only people who go are like idiots who like don't take COVID seriously, which is like fair, right? But they're also taking their kids, and their kids didn't ask for this.
yeah, but at
I
the end
think,
of the
I
day,
mean,
it's still on the adult.
I think it's fucked up,
It's
but
okay,
whatever.
Noah. As our president would say, it'll just go away. It'll be like a
Yeah,
miracle.
yeah,
It'll
it'll
go
be like
away.
a miracle. Yeah, it'll just go away.
It'll just go
One
away.
day it'll disappear.
It'll just be gone.
Honestly, though, I can like honestly say I think it's just gonna become like the flu, where it's like a normal part,
Yeah,
I
I
mean,
think
like
that's
and
what everyone's kind of just
you
preparing
just
for.
gotta like get the
I think
shot.
it's gonna be worse than the flu though. Like,
Yeah, because eventually we'll come up with a vaccine. Eventually we'll come up with ways
yeah,
to treat it. Like the flu in like 1917, 1920s was like just like this. And then we like understood,
yeah.
like
Well, no,
studied it for so
we
long
didn't
and
come
stuff.
up with a vaccine for it. It
Yeah, but
basically
we
just
like
burned through the world and then like petered
yeah, but
out.
then
'Cause
like after, like in the century after, like we studied it, we came up with a cure, all that kind of stuff.
I
And like
guess,
now it's still
But
there. It's
I
like
mean,
really powerful,
medicine's
but
like obviously improved over those 100 years. So like, it's not like just sort of sweeping the world in like the same
yeah. I
way
mean,
the
like
flu did.
honestly, like I
It's
think
still
that's the
bad,
only reason.
but
I
you
think.
know,
Well, I mean, like partially, it's like coronavirus isn't as deadly as the Spanish flu, but like also, yeah, you're right. Like we do have somewhat better, but like I mean, like on the other hand, you also have like more international travel, like flights, just kind of like business trips,
yeah, but
vacations,
like
things
the
like that.
last time a big pandemic broke out, we didn't even know what a gene was. Like we didn't even know genetics.
But like it's not like you need gene editing to like figure out what
it's
like
just I think it's just like an example to show how far medicine has come since.
I guess, but like
Yeah.
still, it's taking a while. Like they're saying a vaccine won't be available until next year at the earliest,
Well,
or
yeah,
maybe
these
at
things take
the
a
end of
long
this year.
time. Like you can't just rush it.
I
If you
know.
rush it,
Because
that
you have
gets
to go
worse.
through clinical trials and everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
Like, and then
but
there's always the risk of like mutation. You know?
Okay, well, okay,
And
Jacob,
they're already are also like they're
Yeah.
accelerating the process
Jacob.
and stuff.
Okay, okay. You're like kind of like medical professional, whatever. So I'm wondering, like, what do you think of like nanomachines, like in your bloodstream?
Honestly, that's like more biomedical engineering, but I think that's probably the direction it's gonna head in like the coming centuries.
Mm,
Just because there's so much you could do. Like you could if you could perfect like nanomachines, you could eliminate surgery entirely
I
and
know.
just like work with these nano robots to like do things internally, right?
Yeah.
rip surgeons' jobs. KW.
I mean, you'll still need
Calvin,
people to
what you
make
gonna do,
these
Calvin? You're not gonna be able to do anything.
wait, they're not automated.
You're not
Like
I mean,
automated.
like just
man,
imagine like
like,
coronavirus, like a different virus like pops up like 50 years in the future. Instead of like having to like lock down everything, they just like send out like a software patch update, just like
Not
update
Imagine that's just
1.1.0.
to be fair, even if there's a pandemic in 50 years, I think people will still do the same thing. They'll go to Disney, go to the Bahamas, go to Tahiti, go all these different vacation places, man.
I don't know.
and going back to Disney. I wanna just I honestly, like, there's a charm about all the rides when you're younger, like, you're like, "Whoa," like, Aladdin or, like, like, I'm flying through the sky or whatever, and
Yeah,
it's like it's a theme, right? And that's the whole appeal of it.
yeah.
But then, like, when you get older, you're sorta going to theme parks for, like, the exhilarating aspect
I
of it,
know.
for the
I
rides to, like, just be wild.
I
Well, not
remember.
really
Wait,
Disney.
I remember when I was a kid and I went to Disneyland. I went on this like the Peter Pan ride, which was like this kind of like flying boat. It was like like
Mhm.
Captain Hook's like flying ship,
I am
and
fully
like
aware.
you were like flying over like London, right?
Yep.
So I remember looking out over the side of it and just kind of being like, I wonder what would happen if I jumped out.
I mean, I think everyone wonders that. Like, no
Yeah,
cap. Like,
I was just like legitimately, I was like, wait, like, because like I was like 4 or something, right? So like I was like easily tricked. So I was like, is this like actually London below me? Should I test that out? Like, should I jump and just see if I land in Britain?
Test it
But then
out.
I was like, wait a second. Even if I
Interesting.
do jump and it turns out I am gonna land in London, I'm like really high up hypothetically, so I would die. So I stayed in the boat.
So at least you have that
yes.
forethought.
Good old decision calculus.
Ah, yes.
Glad to see it came in handy there, Noah. But
And
Hmm.
I
I think
think
they make
Disney,
it so Cobb, go ahead,
yeah,
yeah.
Disney is like I think that's like a perfect example. Is like Disney isn't necessarily like Six Flags and like stuff like that. Those are like all about the rides. But like
Yeah.
Disney, I think is more of an experience. Like even when you're older, even if like all the rides are like super like crappy and stuff, you have like the food and all the people are dressed up. It's like an experience you're going for, not necessarily the rides.
But yeah, when you go
Like
to
you have
Six Flags,
the shows, all that kind of stuff.
Ooh,
Yeah.
wait. Okay. I'm just gonna say this because we talked just a little bit about Six Flags. We mentioned it. Did you know that like one of the Six Flags in Six Flags, like it's like Six Flags over Texas, right?
Yeah, it's the
So
Confederate flag. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. Did you know that they had like back in the day a Confederate like a Civil War attraction? Like they would have people dress up as Confederate soldiers, right? Like march around the park and like apprehend like visitors for being quote unquote Union spies.
Oh, rip.
Yeah, and
When
then
did
they
they
would
get rid of
and
that?
then they would shoot them.
They would shoot them. What the
Like
hell?
I'm not like it's so funny because if you read about it, it's basically the same thing as Disneyland's like Star Wars Land like First Order attraction where they
Yeah.
have like First Order stormtroopers like looking for like resistance spies, except replace First Order with Confederacy and replace Resistance with
Well,
Union.
one is a lot more acceptable than the other.
Yeah.
You know
Um,
the stormtroopers now at Disney World, they're instructed to apprehend people without masks.
Wait, actually, that's kind
Yeah,
of funny.
That's kind
they're
of
supposed
funny.
to
Yeah.
get the people without masks and like detain them and stuff. I don't know like what it actually entails, but that's who they're targeting now.
I'm fine with that. First Order is doing some good work.
Like the First Order.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't know. Do you like the name First Order? I think First Order
I
might be like my favorite like Empire name, like Dark
I
Side.
think I like it, but I just wish they fleshed it out more because they were basically like, oh yeah, it's Empire 2.0, but like I just want them to like take it a little bit further, right? Because like it would have been so interesting if it was like very clearly like a kind of like reactionary, just kind of like revisionist sort of movement. Like it's not literally the Empire 2.0. It's a bunch of people trying to be Empire 2.0.
Yeah, honestly, I think after the first movie, like Force Awakens, I think they had the setup for like the best trilogy.
Oh yeah, no question. Like people didn't like the first movie because they're like, oh, it's unoriginal, and I agree with that. But like I
Mhm.
think it gave a
It's set
lot
up.
of
I think it's a
yeah
lot of setup. Like it gave a lot of good setup. Like all
yeah.
the characters in the first movie, I thought were really good and I thoroughly enjoyed.
I mean, like in terms of just like Star Wars, like it's like people think about it like as if it's like some kind of like adventure, but like in my opinion, it's less about the plot and more about the story. Like not even the story. It's more about like the setting. Because like if you think about like the original trilogy's plot, like it's kind of bog standard, right? Like some random farmer like just kind of joins the
That was
rebellion.
original at the time.
Not real. It's like it's like literally just like the hero's journey, right? Like
Fair, but like the whole like Star Wars
yeah,
setting.
I mean, like that's what I'm saying. Like the setting is what makes it interesting, right?
All right,
Like
fair.
in my mind, the prequels are better than the sequels because, like, even though the prequels had like
Yo, the
really
prequels are
shitty
better than
acting,
all the other trilogies for the memes alone.
oh yeah, the memes are
They
so
don't
good.
respect that.
But
Yeah.
like, I mean, you look at the world building, right? And the building is so interesting. Like it's like so much more fleshed out than the sequels ever were.
on this
Yeah,
is a little reminiscent of the very first episode of our podcast where we started by talking about Star Wars for like half an hour.
Yeah, I mean, what can you say? Like, got a lot of opinions about Star Wars.
yeah.
Yeah, I know you two do. I really don't
Well, you've
because
never seen it.
I seen the newer ones because I went to
That's
the
only
theater
because
for
I
all.
dragged you out to watch it.
Look, Noah, that's true. That's all I have to. That's true. I mean, they're interesting, but I guess you guys just like all like the lore and the
Yeah,
backgrounds.
I mean, like, what's not to like?
They're coming out with a new Disney Plus series called
Oh
like
yeah,
something I forgot, the Bad Crew or something. What
yeah,
is
the
it?
Bad Batch.
Bad
I
Batch.
don't know. We'll see. Like, honestly, like, I feel like the Clone Wars show was best when it wasn't under Disney, but
Who was it?
Fair,
Oh, or before?
but
I don't know.
still the show was like not bad. I think Mandalorian was fine and that was under Disney.
A lot of things are under Disneyed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Disney is kind of an empire at this point.
Yeah,
But
props.
They're
like
ready to strike back.
a kingdom with a lot of principalities. Like the guys at Disney don't do a lot with like they run
Like
everything.
all the companies still like
They
operate
don't
on their own.
Okay.
actually like make the stuff. They don't create the stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, look, I'm okay. Here's the thing, right? I'm kind of mad because our reality is basically a cyberpunk dystopia without all the cool shit, right? Because like if you think about it, we have all this stuff from cyberpunk. We have mass surveillance, corporate monopolies, like police brutality, all this shit. Except ours is like really lame. Like our companies, like if you look at like companies in like cyberpunk like films and like books and stuff, like they have like cool names, right? Like the Terrell Corporation or like
Oh, yeah.
Wayland Yutani. And then we just have like Amazon and Disney. It's
Well,
lame.
Yeah, those are named after actual people. These are named like ours are named
Disney's a
after like.
lame fucking name, and the
Oh
guys
yeah,
who
wait,
made
Disney's
it,
actually a name too.
Disney
Disney
is
is a cool name.
I don't like Disney as a name.
It
I think it sounds
sounds
lame.
very childish.
I know, which is
The
like
whole
Which
idea.
no, it doesn't want the idea of a
if I'm going
like
to be
a
ruled over
corporation.
by corporate overlords, I want them to at least act the part. Don't act like you have my best interest like in mind. I know you don't. Like if
And
you're
that's how
gonna,
they get to the position they're in.
I know it's stupid.
Okay. Well, regardless, just going back to Six Flags real quick. I wanted to mention it before,
Okay.
but a while ago, right after senior year ended, Renee and I yeeted down to Six Flags. You want to
Yeah.
know why, Noah?
Because the
No, no,
band, I don't
sorry.
know.
Why
No,
are you
Noah.
kidding me now?
No. Because originally we wanted to take a nice vacation, all of us. So me, Renee, you, Jacob, and MK, all of
Yep,
us just take a nice, end of senior year sort of trip down to Florida where we can hit Universal, Disney, maybe like a beach or something, who knows.
sure.
And this would all have been nice and dandy all before the world ends up in a pandemic.
Okay, get to the
And then,
point.
and then you were like, nah.
Yeah,
And then everyone else was like, no, said, nah, nah. And then
yeah.
Pranay and I were here just like, what the frick?
Well, we're like, what are we gonna do at this point?
Dude,
I mean,
Like,
like,
we literally,
like Cobb was on. He was just like, oh, yeah, I'll ask my parents. I'm gonna do these things. I'm gonna try to get something done. And then it just didn't. It just never happened.
I mean, like, it was just too expensive.
Yeah, fair. It was. Yeah, that's the same thing. I
I
think.
mean, like,
I think that trip, like, we definitely could do it, like, end of college, like in the
yeah.
next coming
Like,
summers,
okay,
like
look,
one
it's
of
just like
those.
I didn't have a job at that point, right? So if I went
So,
to
do you have a
like,
job now?
nope. But like,
Okay,
anyway,
well,
nope.
but
Nope.
like that's what I'm saying, right? Like, I
But you'll
can't.
have some money by the end of college. Hopefully,
Yeah,
I
I mean,
hope
yeah,
Noah
I'm
that
gonna
you'll have
try.
a job by the end of
I
college.
don't want to
Some
graduate
money.
college without ever
you
holding a
will be
job.
doing what he's doing now,
Yeah,
just sitting
but, like,
around.
yeah. I mean, that'd
Playing
be kind of
the
depressing.
Valorant.
That'd be
And
pretty
the Star
depressing.
Honestly,
Wars.
I think that we could do a lot more when
But
at the end of
anyway, to like
college.
finish out my point, like if I went like without having a job, if I went to like Disneyland, right, I'll be basically spending my parents' money, and like it's kind of hard to justify that. Like if it was my own money, I'd be fine with that, right? But like I don't want to spend like
Just
$1,000 of my parents' money on like a Disneyland
Also,
vacation.
you can't rent a car until you're 25.
Oh really?
no,
Renting cars
no.
is the way.
They have plenty of like shuttles for Disney,
Yeah.
like from hotels and stuff for free. Yeah,
Kent and I did in-depth
we
research
actually did
about
so
this.
much research.
We
We got
actually did.
numbers from several
Yeah,
people,
you
from
get it.
several of our friends, and we actually like it was actually not that expensive.
Can you get a
I
shuttle
mean,
from
okay.
from the airport?
Contextualize what
But
not that expensive means.
I not that expensive in terms of like a Disney trip. Like I
Yeah,
mean, like
yeah.
All right, how much?
let me go check our
Remember
message
the number,
history.
bro.
Let me go check our
It's
message
something
history
definitely
today.
like 750 to
Search
1,000.
in conversation Disney.
Definitely more than $100. I'm
Okay,
really-
yeah, it's definitely more than $100.
Yeah.
Okay, obviously,
if you can get it
obviously,
below $100,
like-
then there's no way.
It was
Like-
probably several $100s if we're being really. Even if you're saying like,
It was probably like about 1,000.
yeah,
yeah, okay, like 1,000.
Actually, I don't.
Honestly,
Was it really 1,000?
I thought it was more 700 Uh, 7:20 ish. Let me just go check my message history, and I'll give you
Sure, but
guys an
like
answer.
he's probably around that 750 to
Yeah,
1,000 range. Like that's still a lot of money.
I know.
Yeah, but no
Yeah, but
money for all of us.
it was kind of like we were all going to different college. We were just like, let's just do it.
Well, we
But
all ended up back here, so
yeah, kind of ironic.
yeah.
Hey, yo, we should do it at the end of college though. Like for
Okay,
real. End of
end of
college.
college.
Yeah.
Holy,
Before we
that's
actually
so
start,
long though.
that will go by extremely
Honestly,
fast.
there'll probably be like some sort of Corona nonsense. I mean, hopefully,
Okay,
it
fine. The
doesn't.
first that we should go
Okay,
in
okay.
one of the summers that we don't have anything, we're all free. We should plan it a year ahead of time. We'll go. One of these summers in the coming couple of years.
Okay, so I got a quote from a friend for how much. With them, 4 people went.
Right,
Uh, so it was 750 each
right,
for everything. So like
right.
110 for hotel, 287 for 3-day Disney,
Okay,
260 for flight, and then for
okay.
like Ubers, food, etc. That's where like the rest of the cost comes in. Like if you spend a ton on food and you buy like 20 churros, like obviously it'll be like way more expensive, right? But
Well, I mean, tell me this. So, do you have $750 sitting around? Like, is it like do you have like $750 just
yeah,
like sitting under your pillow?
yeah,
He has
I
it
do.
right around. He
That's
has it
what's
right
up.
now.
I mean,
Yeah,
I was going to have it because I kind
I
of
mean,
like the
must be
stipend
nice.
from
Must be
UTD,
nice.
so I was
Well,
kind of I
I
was
mean,
like,
the rest of us don't get paid to go to college.
no, you literally are not paying for college. You're a trust fund baby. I don't want to hear it.
Getting that's not the same as getting paid, though.
Yeah, but like if you compare the cost of how much my college is to how much like all of your college is being paid for, like yours is like exponentially higher.
So you're saying like I should have gone to UTD just so we could go on a trip to Disneyland.
No,
Yes, that is exactly what he is
yeah, you
saying.
know what? Yeah, you should have Noah. What's wrong with you? Okay, no,
And
hold on.
this is why I
Before
did not go.
before we go to the next thing, I just want to say we had this
Okay.
other idea. Okay, so
Okay.
Renee and I did a lot of research for this Disney idea, but we kind of had a feeling it wouldn't pan out.
Yeah, I remember this. Yeah.
Right, Renee and I
At some
discussed this.
point, we're just like, no one's really up and about it. It's not. Puck is thinking it's Puck is
So
doing
the
the normal Puck
alternative,
thing.
the alternative, Renee, it was a road trip, right?
Yes.
And we were thinking about a road trip too. And then we were like, maybe we can go to like Galveston or something, not like super, super far away. And then I remember we asked Noah and we are like, no, you have any ideas? And Noah's like, I think we should go to Colorado.
Hey.
And I was just like,
I'm just
Noah,
like, okay. I
at,
mean, like,
at this point, Noah's like barely driving. So I'm just like, no, who's going to drive? Honestly, in all honesty, it would have been just me and Brene taking turns driving.
I mean, like I didn't say that we should have gone like immediately.
I don't know why that didn't happen though. Would anyone other than Brene like to opine?
Uh, when did we plan to go? Was it like it was like last like winter, right? It would have been last winter. I
Last
think.
winter, like our freshman year of college?
I think I can't. My memory's kind of fuzzy. I'll be real. I don't remember.
I don't know, but I know we all talked about it. Is Brene just singing?
Yeah.
This year. I just
I
felt like
don't know
singing.
what the fuck he's saying.
Uh, you know the song Last Christmas I gave you my heart. The very next day you gave it away.
Yeah, I know the song.
Yes,
Why is
okay.
that relevant?
I just okay. You know what? You have to be there. You have to listen to it to see how it's relevant. Now you can.
What? What do you mean? You have to be where in the fucking
You were
recording
you were
studio?
listening to me. You were listening to me. Noah. I feel
Oh.
hurt. You should have listened. Just go on with the story.
I'm fucking done with this topic. Let's move on to the next one. Sorry.
Okay.
Bad movies.
Bad movies? Yes.
Talk about
That,
bad
that
movies.
bad movies. Okay. Well, this one, honestly, I don't even think it's like that bad of a movie. I think it's just like hilariously bad, but they made it hilariously bad. So it's like a comedy.
Okay.
I think that's the best way I can explain it. But it's a horror slash comedy called The
Oh, so wait,
Drone.
is it actually a comedy?
Yeah, like if you look up the movie, Like if you just type into Google the drone, it'll
It's a
pop up and it'll say horror/comedy.
Well,
Because the
interesting.
movie kind of is just making fun of how stupid it is, which is what actually makes it pretty funny. So basically, the whole plot is there is this drone that goes around killing people. Is the base level, but beyond that, it's actually there was this dude who had this ex girlfriend, and he dies, and his soul goes into the drone or something, and so now he just lives as this drone, and he tries to win back this girl, his ex girlfriend, by killing everybody she knows and then swooting her as a drone.
Yeah,
It's actually quite interesting.
I think PJ should take notes, honestly.
What the hell?
At least this guy tried, BJ.
Like, did he actually try?
Yo, he
Okay.
literally killed everybody she knew. How did he not
I
try?
mean, that's like after he died, he tried.
He laid out rose petals all over her apartment
From
This
his
is like
drone body.
What?
as a drone.
Like honestly, I think that's kind of stupid. If I was a drone, I would do so much more cooler stuff. I mean,
What would you do, Noah?
dude, I would like do like fucking like figure eights like around the Eiffel Tower. Like you're a drone, you can fly.
Well, what if your battery dies?
Recharge it, lol.
Okay.
Just
So
I mean,
simple.
like you got like outlets fucking everywhere. Just plug yourself in.
Hey, make a drone that can charge itself, and that's
Yeah.
basically
A
the
solar
drone.
powered drone?
Ooh.
Ooh.
I would choose like one random ass person and just like follow them around.
It's basically what this drone did.
This is literally what this movie is, Noah.
I know, but like I wouldn't spend my time like trying to like seduce him. I would just be like, hey, 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 hey.
That's what
What are
he
you
does
gonna
for
do?
like the majority of the movie. Because he's not, they're not like having a conversation because it's a
Yeah,
drone,
yeah.
but it's just really funny the
Oh,
lengths that this
you
is
know
gone
what you could do? You could get a job as you could get so well paid as like the most intelligent drone cameraman there is. You could like I mean just think about like all the angles. Like you could work in the cinema industry and you're just like so much better than every other cameraman out there, right? Because like even if like they're like flying a drone to like take a shot, like you literally are the drone. You're gonna be able to get shots like in ways that like nobody else can.
What if you're a wimpy drone? You just can't carry a camera.
Just I don't know, have somebody upgrade you.
Interesting.
I mean, is his like body like in the drone body itself or what?
It's a spirit
Like,
that's in
if you look at
there.
the drone, it's
So I mean, like it's not like if you cut off like the rotors and added like bigger rotors, that's not like it would like make the drone spirit go away or what, right?
probably not.
I don't know.
Okay,
I don't know
either
what
way,
it's
either way,
for.
if you look at the trailer, man, this is actually like even the trailer is the funniest thing ever. Like Jesus,
It's actually so funny.
like because in the trailer you don't know that it's someone's like that this woman's ex. Like you don't know it's her ex. You just know it's a drone, and so you're just told that there's this drone that just tries to kill people.
I
That's
like
like
It's
it.
actually so excellent. And if you don't feel like watching the entire amazing movie this is, uh, there's this YouTube channel called Elvis the Alien, and he does like a 25-minute little thing about the movie. So feel free to go watch that. Not sponsored, by the way.
You should sponsor us. You should pay us.
Yeah, exactly. Easy. But what other movies? What other movies do we have here?
Oh, there's this movie called The Velocipaster.
Oh,
oh, we
didn't we
talked
mention this
about
in
it. We
the
talked about it
very
in the
first
legacy edition.
episode?
The very first episode.
I think we did in our pilot episode. Mentioned it. And it's very, very like so basically
Isn't it really good ratings?
it's not really good, but like
Oh, actually,
fairly
never mind.
positive.
It's for 54 on Rotten Tomatoes. But
Yeah, but audience score is like 70, which is like
yeah, that's true. That's true.
not bad. It's almost like a Hulk kind of movie where this dude like he's a pastor and then he gets like basically he turns into a velociraptor every time he gets angry. And then he goes around and like I'm pretty sure he like fights ninjas and
Wait a
stuff.
minute.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
looking at images from this movie, and my god, is this you're worse than I could possibly imagine.
The dinosaur does not even look threatening. It just looks so funny.
Oh,
But
He like fights ninjas as a velociraptor.
yeah,
the
yeah.
little synopsis on Google, or like the little plot thing, it says after losing his parents, a priest travels to China where he inherits a mysterious ability that allows him to turn into a dinosaur. Although he is horrified by the new power, a hooker convinces him to use it to fight crime.
Hey, that hooker, the Chinese hooker, that was me.
No,
Yeah. This is
this-
another
Noah was actually in this movie, if you
Yeah.
didn't know.
I'm
uh,
a movie star.
Yeah. Do you know how this? You know how this like idea came about for the Velocipaster?
I don't. Please inform me.
Well, the director back like when he was in college, he was I don't know why, but he was like typing some Velociraptor into his phone, and it autocorrected to Velocipaster, and then he was like, you know what, this is a good idea, and then he made it
What
into
kind
his
of
final
directors
project.
like this, man?
He made it into his final project for like his film school or whatever, and then he posted it on YouTube, and then people were like, you know what, this is a good idea, you should make this into a movie, and he's like, you know what, you're right, and then he made it into a movie.
Nice.
And I mean, if you didn't think of that idea, we wouldn't have Velocipaster to this day, and that would be a sad world. A world without
That would be a sad
Velocipaster.
world.
Sad world.
A world none of us would want to live in.
Honestly, I would watch this movie.
10 out of 10.
Have you
Except
not already come?
more of like a 5 out of 10.
Nah, well, audience
like the
score is
plot.
70%, man.
A 10 out of 10 in our hearts.
Yes, it is. And with that, our last sort of terrible but kind of funny movie, Zombievers. Wordplay seems to be like a kind of common idea behind these.
I feel like
Yeah,
half
this is
of
the same
shitty-
director from The Drone.
Yeah, I feel like half of the shitty horror comedy movies out there are just bad puns that people turn into movies.
What is the one with like the tornado, or is it
Sharknado?
Sharknado?
Bro, there's 3 movies in that series. There's Sharknado 1, 2, 3.
Yeah, I don't even know how it freaking got 3 movies, but I guess it was so good that
I mean, it's not good. It's just like makes a lot of money for some reason. Some people just
Wait.
seem to be attracted to tornadoes and sharks. Like, I really don't know.
how many Sharknado? You said there were
I
3?
think there's
Yeah.
3, right?
No, it says there's 6.
There's 6. God damn.
Yeah, Sharknado
What
2,
the
the second one.
war?
Sharknado 3, oh hell no. Sharknado, the fourth awakens. Sharknado 5, global swarming. The last Sharknado.
My God. Are you kidding me? Bro, how do you not like what? How's the movie not the same thing every single time?
Well, I mean, the thing is, basically, nobody was expecting, the Sci-Fi Channel is the one that aired Sharknado, right? Which is kind of weird because, it's a Sci-Fi Channel. But nobody was expecting it to be, as popular as it was. It just kind of turned into a meme. And then the Sci-Fi Channel was like, oh shit, it's made us a lot of money. Let's go all in on this. And so they just started spending all their time, airing, shitty horror movies or,
Hey,
horror
it
comedy
worked
movies.
out.
Horror comedy movies.
Yeah.
Man. Get the genre right.
I mean, it's kind of ruined the Sci-Fi Channel if you ask me. They haven't aired any legit sci-fi in a while. I mean,
The actual sci-fi movie genre, I will say, is very nice. It's definitely for sure my favorite movie genre.
excellent.
Yes.
Wow. I see,
Great
I
to
see
know,
you.
BJ, great to know.
Yeah, now you get a little bit of insight into
Yeah.
Renee.
A little bit about me. Sci-fi is the way my heart.
Okay.
North Carolina, if you're listening.
I'm ready, bro. I'm ready now. Sci-fi me up.
Man, Renee's always been ready.
What the hell?
Oh, yeah.
What do you mean? Of course you've always been ready.
Okay. Well, Renee is ready for a lot of things, but he's normally not ready for when we play Dungeons and Dragons.
Oh, interesting transition, Dip.
Nice.
Very nice. There you go.
He normally is just panicking. Noah's just like, "Hey, what's your modifier?" Renee's like, "I don't know. I have a dog and I am here."
So I will say I have this dog. His name is Charles V. He is a blink dog, so which means he can teleport, he can go in and out dimensions, or in and out one dimension. I'm pretty sure. But this dog
Well,
is he has stolen the hearts of our entire D&D team. I will say.
true, but
Debatable.
I
Debatable.
think I think before we talk about the nuances and Charles V a bit more, maybe give a bit background, you know, as to what Dungeons and Dragons is and the current campaign that we're all partaking in. And Noah is our dungeon master. Good old Noah. So Noah, do you want to
I mean,
expand a
I
little on
feel
that?
like
Or
D&D has actually gotten much more mainstream in the last few years. Just kind of as nerd culture as a
yeah,
whole, it's gotten more
with shows like
mainstream.
Stranger Things as well, sort
Yeah.
of featuring it. Yeah, it's
I
definitely
mean,
become
like,
more
at the heart of it, D&D is just a role-playing game. There's really no objective. You just kind of make up the objective yourself, which is, like, I think one of the appeals of it. And so I made a campaign for our good friends here, along with some other friends in Plano. I spent a lot of time fleshing out this campaign, trying to make a nice story, and then the very first session, they fuck it up.
Yeah.
I was unbelievably pissed. You do not know. So here was a plan, right? Basically, my plan was to have the town guards kind of come through and like recruit the party members for a mission. They would go on the quest, they would do the stuff that would lead them into like a bigger conspiracy and then like da story time, right? That's how a plot works. It expands. But here's the thing for some fucking reason, Ozymandias thought it would be a good idea to attack the town
Ozymandias
guards.
is Pranay, by the way.
Yeah, Pranay thought it would be a good
Oh
idea to
yeah.
fucking attack the town guards and have his blink dog, Charles V, bite one of the guards on the ass.
Wait. Did I do this unprovoked? I
Yeah,
forgot.
Yeah, you did this
you did.
completely unprovoked.
okay, Pranay.
You
What
attacked
I'm
the
hearing is
Wait
you
a
screwed
minute.
everything up.
you
Wait a
screwed
So
my
minute. Wait
entire
a minute.
you
Wait a
legitimately
minute.
screwed my entire campaign up in the first few minutes of the first session.
Oh, what do you know? You live, you learn, and you live.
You
Uh,
live and you learn.
you live and you learn. That's what the saying is. Not uh, well. I'm pretty sure it's because they were like rifling. They're trying to like
No,
toss the.
they straight up came to you and asked, "Hey, you want to do this mission?" And then you just attack them.
No. I remember. I remember. I was just like this guy. I remember him from the war. He was. He was.
No,
That was
Pranay,
just,
oh,
that
I
was
remember that
private.
stupid job she
that
started
was
from.
the lie that you made up.
Okay.
You just were like,
I
"Hey,
was a
what's
military
up?"
man. I will say this. I
Oh
was
my
a
god,
military man. I knew him from the war.
no, you
No,
didn't.
you didn't.
You
Okay.
said that you knew him. You lied,
Oh my
and you
god.
rolled poorly on
Okay.
your
So
deception.
yeah, so basically in D&D, you have to like roll for certain checks when you want to do certain things. So if you want to like lie and sort of deceive someone, you have to roll for deception. So you take a 20-sided die and you roll, and if you get like a 20, that's like really really good. If you get a 1, that's it's pretty garbage. Uh so just based off the roll, it's just, how well you actually do that thing or whether or not you succeed. Uh just like generally, and there's all sorts of different things you can roll for, like perception, persuasion, stealth, athletics, all that sort of stuff.
At the end of the day, the game is just like
Whatever you want it to be. Yeah.
You roll the dice. There's different like modifiers. You can add things to the number you roll. You can subtract things if you're like at a disadvantage somehow. And then if you meet a certain threshold, then like you win. Basically, that is
Yeah.
how the game works. And then you create this whole world and story around it, and that's the appeal of it. Like the gameplay is not that great, but the plot and the story you can make really, really good. Agree with that, Noah?
Yeah, sounds about
Yeah, pretty much.
accurate.
It's just like you do whatever you want to do, and
And
if the luck is in your favor, then you
with
can
our
do
party
some really
members,
wacky
do
things.
what you want to do. Typically means lie, swindle, cheat, and murder.
Okay, I will say, Cobb has been especially very aggressive recently. He like he just like I remember we were trying to like go into a store. We're trying to buy some stuff, and they didn't have the thing that Cobb wanted. And he's just like, you know what? Let's just kill him. Kill the storekeeper. I was like, what the hell? We can't just go
I
around
didn't.
killing
We
everything.
didn't kill him, but I ended up stealing their one of their most valuable items.
Do you even know what it is?
No, it's an unknown item to me right now, but I have it.
Congrats, I guess.
The main problem is no one ever like expected us to steal stuff. So I guess when Noah
Oh
comes up
no,
with
no,
an
I do know what item you stole.
oh,
You just
okay,
never inspected it, so
okay.
you
Well, I
don't know
will
what it is.
inspect it in the next session, and
All
we'll see
right.
what I have.
Stay tuned for the next episode where we reveal what Cobb has and whether it's just garbage or whether it's actually something valuable.
Probably is garbage. Like what the hell can you get from a random
It's
ass
an
store?
expensive item from their store, so it's got to be worth at least money or some gold to me. You
Yeah,
can sell
maybe.
things, you know.
Also, something to know
Maybe
about D&D is not everyone's just like a human. There's different sorts of races and
Oh
stuff.
yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
you can be like a fire, like a tiefling, which is kind of like fire resistant,
Which is what I have. I was like
kind of
kind of like
devilish.
half devilish, half human kind of thing. I'm also
Yeah,
like my class is like kind of your role or your like kind of like job of what you do, but it just defines like some other actions that you can take.
and like
Like maybe
traits
spells you
about
can
your
cast
character.
and some character traits. So like I'm a paladin. I'm a very religious guy. I hail from the Temple of Osiris, uh, which not many people have heard about in our kingdom, which is unfortunate because it's a pretty big temple.
I mean,
And
Oh, okay.
you're basically a Jehovah's Witness to these people.
okay, well, I know a lot of stuff about religion, and it never comes in useful. It is absolutely, it is so useless. Like I have this like,
Honestly, you know what? You should make one fight that is basically like if you know about religion, you get like insane damage.
That's so stupid.
Just to please
you
Pranay.
should do
That's
it.
so stupid. I'm not doing that.
And the very next fight is if you know religion, you die instantly.
Okay, I don't. Why would you die instantly?
Noah's like, I'm listening. I'm
I have
listening.
divine smite. Second smite people from the gods. I can literally do stuff that.
Well, they
Yeah,
pull out
but
a Uno reverse card, and
you
then you get
basically just have races and classes. And so I'm a half elf. Cobb's just like a whole ass elf. Uh, and there's different sorts of stuff. You can be like a bird. You can be whatever you want. Uh, but once you're your race, you can't like switch races or anything. You can't just like willy nilly. But there's actually a book.
my race is the Pokemon Ditto, and I can transform into whatever I want.
Okay, well we're not talking about
You know
Pokemon.
what, Cobb? Your face is dead.
Yeah, but once you pick your race and class, you're sort of locked in. But in my childhood, I remember a book by the name of Animorphs, in which
Animorphs,
in
Yes.
which
my
you can change your
favorite
race.
series.
Yes.
Seth, why don't you give us a little explanation on what Animorphs
Okay,
is?
Animorphs might be the greatest book series of all time.
And
Basically,
TV show.
and TV show
Best
and
entertainment
movie.
of all
Question mark?
time.
Best
Yeah, they're
entertainment,
making a
really,
movie.
really best entertainment. Shows like The Office, Parks and Rec, whatever.
They don't compare. They
Don't
don't
compare one bit.
compare.
One
Not
bit.
at all.
Animorphs. Okay, there are these kids, these people, these teenagers, just these people. They turn into animals, and the covers on
And
these
man,
books.
I highly encourage you to go look at all the art related to Animorphs. You will have a fun. It will make your day 10 times over.
Isn't it
This is
basically
true.
some like weird ass furry shit?
Almost. You know how like there's some transformations that are like not normal, but they're very seamless, right? Like when you see the Hulk transform in like the Marvel movies, right? Like it's a very seamless transition, right? It's very smooth, very
Mm-hmm.
clean. The transitions in Animorphs are not like that. They move in transition states almost, where like there's half human, half animal hybrids, and then it's very scary. I don't know. I have nightmares about it sometimes.
Yeah. If you look at some of these, there's like the mouse. I forgot which ones were the most like
Some of the scariest ones
scary
are like
ones.
the dog, the dog, the lizard, the worm. The worm was pretty weird.
Oh God, man.
Oh
Okay,
man.
and
I
so
encourage you to check it out. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. So then recently when Jith and I were looking through these things and we were just like, man, there's some whack ass stuff here. Like there's a cricket and stuff. I searched up some I went and did some Googling and I found out that Animorphs had a TV series. I was like, okay, interesting. If the covers are this whack, I wonder how whack the TV series must be. And man, let me tell you, the first episode is whack. as like the most whack thing you could possibly imagine. Like there's some aliens that just like take over. They don't take over. They're like invading Earth, and there's like a battle of two Animorph aliens, and one alien gives them power to like four kids to morph into different things. This guy
Morph
morphs
into
into a
animal?
dog.
Yeah.
Yeah, morph to animals, and this guy morphs into a dog. And this morphing, man, I will tell you, is so scary. Like the dog sitting right next to the guy who was morphing was so scared too. Like I felt for
Okay.
that dog.
After
Goddamn.
Pranay's very incoherent explanation of the first episode of Animorphs, look, if you're listening to this podcast right now, just do yourself a favor. Google Animorphs book covers or just Animorphs, and it'll pull up the book covers pretty much automatically.
Starfish.
And
Did,
It
just
is
start
so funny.
scrolling. Just
did
start
Animorphs ever
scrolling.
get like a
God.
movie adaptation?
So here's the thing, right? TV series came out in the 90s. The books have been coming out for continuously
A
for about
long
a
time.
while now, right?
Yeah.
Not much success with the TV series. The books, some of them did pretty well. But now Animorphs is getting a huge boost because this year
On to
they got
Hollywood.
signed for a
Taking on
new
Hollywood.
TV series with the potential of a movie. So if the
Oh,
TV
shit.
series does well, they're gonna make a movie. So the TV series better do extremely well
Okay,
because I
like
must see this movie.
here's the thing. I don't think Hollywood has managed to make a really seriously good adaptation of a YA book series since Harry Potter. Like, I don't know why, but every time they try to adapt a YA book series, they fuck it up. Like Percy Jackson, the two adaptations they made were terrible, both of them for different reasons.
Wait, they just
Like,
changed plot all of a sudden too, and I
Yeah,
was
I
bro,
get. I have a counter argument to that.
okay,
The very
oh,
first
okay.
Maze Runner movie.
I did not see that one, so I can't
I
really.
did that one. I thought it was pretty good.
I like the first Maze Runner movie, like a
Was like
lot.
I
was
didn't
the
see the
second one
later.
like the Scorch Trials? I
Yeah,
remember
the
seeing a
second
trailer
and
for
third
that.
one were like, but the first one was
I mean, the first one stuck very
Right, but
closely
like,
to the
is
book.
it
I
on
think.
the level of Harry Potter?
I
'Cause,
think
like,
so.
really,
I think
Wow.
so.
Okay,
that is a big claim out here, and unfortunately, I cannot verify that because I've never seen it.
Well,
Look,
that's a problem. Jeth, have you seen it?
have I seen the
Maze
Maze
Runner.
Runner? I'm
The
pretty sure I saw the first one. The thing is, I feel like the first movie's like its plot is actually really interesting, and you're sort of like intrigued, and that's why it did like really well as both a book and like a movie. But I felt like I don't know. I felt like the movies after that just weren't very good.
Yeah, I'm not talking about the movies after that. I'm just talking about the first movie.
The first one was definitely interesting, but I think that's just because the plot of Maze Runner is interesting. Like I think
Like
probably a
that
better
still
movie
means
could have been taken.
that still means they did a good job with the movie if they translated the plot well.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair enough, I think. But I mean, like Harry Potter is definitely like
Yeah, Harry
they
Potter's
popped
iconic.
off with that series, and I mean, like, yeah, it's iconic.
Yeah.
Emma Watson, kind of cute. That's all I'm gonna say.
Oh my
That's
god.
all I'm gonna say about that. Okay,
That's
that's it.
it.
That's it.
That's
That's it.
okay.
That's
That's
it. That's
fine.
it.
But, like, okay, look, here's the thing, right? I'm bringing this up because recently Disney made a movie adaptation of Artemis Fowl, and that to
Cringe,
me is what.
cringe,
Oh my god,
cringe,
it hurts.
cringe, cringe,
I
It
cringe,
saw
hurts
I
cringe,
me
saw the
cringe.
trailer and
so
I
much.
cringed. Like
Oh
I saw
my
the trailer and
god,
I was like,
dude.
my God, I don't know. Like I've
Like,
actually read the series. I think it's a pretty interesting series. It gets kind of whack many times over, but I mean, I this whole thing is pretty interesting series. Like I like these kind of fantasy, sci-fi kind of things.
like
Uh,
honestly, Artemis Fowl was like one of my favorite book series growing up.
really
Yeah,
interesting.
like I
I
liked
mean,
it
like
better than.
I'm not gonna say I didn't like. I liked it, but I feel like some people would probably be like, this is kind of too whack.
I mean, there were like okay, like I honestly don't really read a lot of books over again, but like Artemis Fowl and Harry Potter Book 5 specifically. I don't know why, but
Okay.
I really liked Book 5 of Harry
What was
Potter.
that, Goblet of Fire?
Yeah,
No,
wait,
that
which
was
one was
Order of
it?
the Phoenix. Order of the Phoenix was Book 5. Book 4 was Goblet of Fire. Like I remember I had a paperback version of Order of the Phoenix. I read it so many times I literally split in half. But
Unfortunately,
that's besides the
I didn't
point.
know you were such a Harry Potter nerd.
What?
I know.
he's a book five. That's it.
I mean, I'm
Just a
Book
book
5
five
nerd. I'm
guy.
a Book 5 nerd.
You're a book five nerd. Okay.
Yes.
I know. On book 5 specifically, do you
Yeah.
think the
I happen to be a book threer.
movie or book? Which one was better?
Honestly, I like them both for different reasons. I think the movie like it kind of condensed it a bit. I like I don't know, like I just kind of like the book 5, like the whole like Dumbledore's army aspect. Like I kind of enjoyed that, but the book, like the movie, definitely condensed on that aspect. But like I like them both, honestly. Um,
Okay,
Fair
fair.
enough.
anyways, yeah, the Artemis, like okay, when the Artemis Fowl trailer came up, like I wasn't even aware of it, right? It just kind of popped up in my YouTube, in my YouTube feed, and I was like, I I cannot tell you how quickly I switched from hopeful excitement to just cringing disappointment.
Yeah,
It
dude,
was
when I first found out
oh
that
my
they were
god,
making an
dude.
Artemis Fowl movie, I was like, "Wait, this could be really cool."
Yeah, this could be like, oh my god, dude.
Dude,
It was
because actually Artemis Fowl as a book series, like, I enjoyed reading
yeah,
that book series a lot. It was really good.
yeah, it would translate so well to movie, right? Like it's got like action, like the characters are so interesting. Like, come on, man.
Okay, I will
Also,
say
they
I had
fucked up
hope for like a
Ender's Game.
second.
They fucked up Ender's Game.
Oh, I did not watch the movie actually.
I did not either, but like, okay, well, I watched a little bit, right? I watched the beginning, and I immediately stopped.
Ender's Game was really bad. But Noah, what
The
about
book is really good.
Noah?
Oh
Noah,
yeah, of course.
Noah. What
Huh?
about? I was just thinking of like decent movies that were like based on books. What do you think about Ready Player One?
I did not watch the movie. Honestly, like I just did. I saw the trailer. And I was like, eh. Like, okay, first off, the visuals kind of look like shit to me, but I was just off the trailer.
I mean, I think they were meant to be. They were
It
meant to
was
be
supposed
like
to be a
that.
video game, right? So
Yeah,
Yeah.
but like okay, like if you look at the trailer, right? You look at all the action scenes, all the CGI. It's just like so dark blue and gray, and
Oh,
like
like that. I mean,
if it like in my opinion, right? If they just went like full neon, just like full colorful like shit, like that would have been so much better. Like I don't know why, but like for some reason, it's like action CGI always has to be like dark brown, dark gray, dark blue. Like movies like like Spider Verse, like that, like that sticks out to me just because of the color usage.
Spider-Verse was kind of
a
dumb.
lot, a lot of people are, I think, are just going for like that Batman kind of aesthetic, where it's very dark and like the hero
Yeah,
is super
but like I
defeated.
mean, like, in my opinion, it works a lot better when you talk about live action as opposed to CGI. Like when like you're looking at like like the Dark Knight, right? Like yeah, it's like very dark, it's very gray, very kind of like earth tone, but like it works because it's like
Very
I mean like it's
realistic.
part of like it's part of like like it's part of
Yeah.
like the themes, right? But like you look at like CGI and like honestly, I feel like even like Infinity War, like I really liked Infinity War, but like I feel like the ending fight is kind of guilty of this, where it's just like very brown, like it just kind of looks like mud.
I don't think so. I think the ending fight. I think like there was two ending fights, kind of right. Like,
Yeah.
there was the one on Titan, which was very brown, and then there was the one on Wakanda, which was like super green.
Oh no, not Infinity War. Endgame, Endgame. I don't know why I just mixed that up in my head. Yeah, Endgame. I liked Endgame, but like the ending fight is very brown.
Oh yeah, yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
like I don't think like and
I
like
think also a lot of that had to do with like the stones. I don't know, because when in Infinity War, the stones were like being used left and right, and so all these colors were like coming about, right?
yeah, but like I mean like the sky was brown, the enemies were brown, the ground was brown.
No, I think you like I don't know. I think use of color is very important to you.
Yeah, I mean definitely. I mean like that's like and like in my opinion, like if you use colors effectively and well, like you can that like it can like just totally transform a scene.
I feel like that's not make or break though for a movie.
Yeah, it's obviously not make or break, but like it's I think it's like it what takes like it's what takes a good action scene to a great action scene. But that's just me. Like I'm just
Yeah,
a
fair enough.
like
That's fair.
it's flair and highlight and all that good shit. Like you have something that where if you have like an action scene where it's all like brown and gray and blue, like you can't see what's happening, right? It's just like basically an indistinct mass of like shapes just kind of like doing shit. That's just kind of my spiel. But yeah, Hollywood cannot fucking make a decent YA adaptation for some fucking reason. Oh, but Percy Jackson is getting a TV show, which I am very hopeful for.
Really?
I
Why
think
you go for this time?
yo, you know, the Rick Riordan, right? He was like,
Yeah,
oh, yeah, he like bashes the Percy Jackson movies all the time,
yeah,
right? But he's
Yeah.
actively working on this
yeah.
TV
I
series.
know, which is like why I'm hopeful.
Yeah,
And like
Interesting. I
Percy
did not
Jackson,
know.
Percy Jackson was great. Like it deserves a good adaptation. Like
Yeah, it does. It really does.
oh my
I feel
god.
like if anybody
The
can like
entire series, all the way, like even like the first 5 books, right? You have like the Lightning Thief that goes all the way to whatever the last book was. I forgot.
The Last
Uh,
Olympian, right?
Yeah, the
Last
last
Olympian,
Olympian.
and then you have like the other whole series, right? Where
Yeah,
the Lost Hero with like a whole new set of characters, but then they all kind of interject, and then you get like something.
the Kane
So
Chronicles.
Hades was that the last one? No, it was like the I
Son of
forgot.
Hades, something like that. I'm gonna be real. I kind of fell off in the middle of the Roman kind of shit. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah, I read the last book in the Roman thing, and the last book's actually pretty good. I at
Really,
least the last couple. I remember them reading them. I was just like, I actually like these.
I really like the Egyptian one that he wrote.
oh, the
ooh,
Kane.
the Egyptian ones are
Yeah.
fun. Yeah, the Kane Chronicles.
But, like in my opinion, like the Percy Jackson, like the original one was kind of iconic.
Well, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, no doubt, no doubt, no doubt.
That was definitely his best one, in
Mhm.
my opinion.
Yeah. Like it's like
All quality books.
it's just so stupid. Like like the movie, right? The first movie, they didn't even get the hair right. Like
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah,
yeah.
that shit was
On
a
Annabelle
blonde.
or
Yeah,
Annabeth.
Annabeth,
yeah,
yeah.
man.
Like you fucking okay. You literally have a blonde nerd girl and you cast Alexandra Daddario for the role? Are you high?
Like, even if you do
What?
that, you just like make them wear a wig. Like people do that all the
No,
time
but
in
like
movies.
okay, look, but the thing is, right? Like Annabeth is like the daughter of Athena, right? She is very specifically positioned as like the smart one, right? She's
Right.
basically
Yeah.
Hermione, right? But like you're literally
Ugh.
casting Alexandra Daddario, a full grown ass woman, in this role of a young
Okay,
teenager.
well at that point she wasn't like
No,
that.
no, she was. I'm
How
pretty.
old was she?
I don't fucking know. I'll look it up.
Okay, well like regardless, I mean the whole thing about Annabeth was like it was two main like character traits, right? Or not character, like how she looks. She had blonde hair and she has like super piercing eyes.
Wait, she had like gray eyes or something inside.
Yeah, like
Okay.
super piercing
Yeah.
eyes.
Okay.
Okay.
She was 29.
Alexander Daddario
She was,
definitely has like
yeah.
hella eyes. Like her eyes are like
No,
I ain't gonna lie, like
she was
she's
29.
kind of nice with it.
She was
Okay.
literally 29 when she was cast. Okay.
Have you seen the cast of Riverdale, Noah? They're all in high school and they're all just like omega buff, like
Oh wait, no,
literally whole ass adults. I don't
she was
understand.
29. She was 24, but still, like I don't know.
If if they just dyed her hair blonde, like I think she would have been fine for the role.
I I don't agree with that. Like I don't want to like typecast Alexandra Daddario or anything like that. I mean, like, okay, I don't want to typecast her. I'm not saying she can only play one kind of character, but like basically every character she has played has been like the seductress type, you know? Like
That's
and like
like
I'm not saying
hot.
that's a bad
Like
yeah,
like
Yeah,
I'm not saying
just
that's a bad thing, right?
I
But
just
like
I speak the truth, okay?
I mean like I agree with you. She's hella hot. She's spoken. Which I mean like
I've never heard
I
no
just
say
don't
she
think it
spoke.
fits.
I've never yeah, this is so weird. What the frick?
What the hell? No, it's like in the last one was she got titties. She's
Like, okay, look, I'm not trying to say that like Annabeth has to look a certain way or that like you have to look a certain way to be smart, right? But like, okay, a good example of this I think is like the Transformers movies, which I don't usually say that the Transformers movies are a good example of anything, but I think they're a good example of this. Like the first Transformers movies, right? Megan Fox was positioned like the way she's written, right? Like her dialogue and everything, like the way the plot treats her. She is a smart person. She's a smart, intelligent, independent woman who is much more competent than the main character. But how do you remember her as, right? Like, how does anybody remember Megan Fox in that movie as? She's
there's literally
basically,
in the Transformers movie. There's literally only one way to remember
I
There's
it.
no other way to
treated, like, I mean, like, basically, like, she's treated as eye candy, right? And I
she
mean,
is eye candy, but like
exactly. Like Megan Fox is hot, but like what I'm saying is
her
it's a
character is actually
disservice
like
to
really
the
well.
character. It's a disservice to the character, is
Fair
what I'm
enough.
saying.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You know, I respect that argument. I respect it, Noah. But they're all everyone's just Hollywood will only like hire hot people.
I know. I mean, like her. Okay, look. Emma Watson is hot, right? But like
Oh, it's literally.
in my opinion, like it's still fit for the role. Like you can still see her as Hermione. You can still like kind of like like it's believable. Like you see Emma Watson as Hermione, you're like, yeah, that's Hermione. But like, no way in hell are you gonna see Alexandra Daddario playing Annabeth Chase, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah, it's Annabeth. No, no,
Yeah, I did have a different picture in mind for Annabeth, but whatever.
exactly.
You know,
Casting on that
Emma
movie
Watson.
was actual shit. I did not like it. No, thank you.
All right, Noah, who would you cast?
Ah, dude, wait, actually, I don't fucking know, man. Like, do you think I'm like a fucking?
No one doesn't know
Do
enough.
you think I'm a Hollywood like acting agent? Do you
I
think
don't
I'm
know,
like,
Noah. You're
ah,
mashing
yes,
all their
this
decisions.
up
You
and
have
coming,
something in
this
mind.
up and coming actress would be perfect for this role? You think I should spend all my time going through like the IMDb list of actors and actresses, being like,
You should be doing this,
You
Yeah.
should
Tom.
be. Why
This is
aren't
a
you?
good use of your time.
because I'm busy losing ranks in Valorant. All right.
There's this one chick. What's her name? She was. Have you guys ever seen You? Like it was on Netflix. It was about like this crazy
I
soccer.
haven't. I've seen like the trailers and all the memes too. Right?
There's this blonde chick, but she could maybe pull it off. I gotta look up her name. Freaking, I swear she's from somewhere.
She is probably from somewhere. That is true.
Okay, you know
That is
what?
true.
I don't want to hear it, Ka. I don't. I really don't. Okay, I have no idea. You know what, Cobb? Who would you cast then? If you're gonna be asking the tough questions, you better take it back.
I do not know. Let's see.
Blonde actresses. Easy. Simple Google search.
Well, are we taking them as they are now, or as they
Honestly, it
were?
doesn't have to be a blonde actress. I mean, like you can have like a wig or like
Someone,
hair dye
yeah,
pretty easily.
but that's too much work to find.
That's fair. That's fair.
Like it's just easier this way, no? Just easier. Blonde actresses with piercing eyes.
Yes.
Is that what you searched up?
Okay, hold on. Just Percy Jackson, Annabeth cast. Who should be cast? I don't know. Is there a way for?
See who
Honestly,
could be
the person
Another
they
way.
cast for Percy, I thought was okay. Like
Logan Learman or something.
whoever he was.
I don't know what his name was, but yeah, I thought he was awesome.
He was up for the role of Spider-Man too, for the longest time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I did not know this.
Well, I thought he's. I like who they cast as Percy. I thought he was fine. I like who they cast as Grover as well. Grover, I thought was
Grover,
good.
I
He goes
liked
kind of he was
like
kind
the
of
way Grover like acted in the movie. I liked his acting personally.
Okay, the person from
Just my
You
type.
is Elizabeth Lale. She's kind of like basic, but like I think she could maybe do it. Okay, whatever. We'll stop this.
yeah. I
That's
don't
kinda
know where.
Yeah, this
We've
is
gone so far off the map that we're just like on
Actually,
erase
did I
right-
see
right
it?
now.
I see it though. I really do see it.
Did
I
you
see
look
what
her
she
up?
did. Yes, I did.
Yeah, you know what? It's like I don't know. Whatever. What was another? Oh, I like bought a lot of the books, like the Percy Jackson books and stuff.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I bought, yeah.
Well, I
Actually,
bought them, but I ended up donating a lot of mine because like
Oh, I should do that.
yeah, I don't like it. Kind of like they're good books, but like it kind of gets to the point where like you kind of try to go back and read them, and you're like, yeah, it's like the language is kind of too simple. Like it's like going
simple.
back and like reading
Yeah.
like a
big
Now in my
word.
remember-
past time, I
remember,
read
like-
like the Iliad and the Odyssey just
Yeah.
for everyday
Remember the
entertainment.
only series that like I actually started buying the books for, or like the first couple of books was the Diary of a Wimpy Kid series.
really.
You have the
Yeah.
Scholastic Book Fairs.
Yeah,
and
I
they'll
bought
always be there.
those as well. Yeah, in the Scholastic book first. Yeah,
Honestly, the
yep.
Isn't that
first
so
like in
dope?
elementary school, like the first one was so good.
It was so popular too. Like the
I
entire
want to
series.
see what they're up to now. Like
This series is very long, I will say.
I know. Like I'm just kind of seeing. They're on to the deep end.
So which
Yeah,
number
it's
is that?
gone.
color
It's
is
gone
that?
on for so long.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
They've
what
run out of
number is
colors.
that? What
Definitely.
color is that?
I think they're reusing color. They're just doing different shades of like purple and like red and stuff.
Oh, what
Number
the frick?
15 is number 15.
Holy.
Oh,
Yeah, right. Remember when they had like 3 and like they made like I remember I kind of stopped at like number 5, I think.
I don't
And then-
know. Like I'm like over it now.
yeah, I
But I,
mean,
I just remember reading that first one was so good, and I just remember
I
reading
also
it, and I was like,
it's
yo,
in
that's nice.
it's light
uh,
blue. It's light
yeah.
blue.
The first one, yeah, okay. Uh, but just one more book series. The 39 Clues. I
Oh,
also
Yeah.
bro,
I also
man, yeah.
read those.
I have the second book in that. I haven't read it as much. I the whole thing seems kind of interesting,
I
Honestly,
like
but I
they did
haven't
like
read it.
the whole four. Like it's actually like a very interesting theory because like
I've
you have
never
all these
actually read
people in
39
society and
Clues.
they're actually all part of like these secret groups, pretty much.
Yeah, Jit, I've never actually read 39 Clues, so can you please just inform me? Just give me a brief synopsis.
I read the
Okay.
first one, but not the other ones.
So I was like super addicted to like the 39 Clues series for a while. Basically like there's these two kids, the Dan and like Amy or something, Cahill, and they're like they're siblings. Amy's like the older sister or whatever. And their grandmother passes away and she basically like leaves everyone in the family the choice to either get a clue or like $1 million or something. And so Dan and Amy like this grandmother liked them the best. So for some reason, they decided to pick the clue. And like a bunch of people, like some people in the family pick the clue, some people pick like the $1 million. And basically they're like all these clues that eventually lead up to some like big sort of like treasure type thing. But like within the family, there's like different branches and it's a whole story.
That is why I
Pranay
do
can
not
probably back me up on
guess.
this, but yeah, it's pretty
Yeah, it
interesting.
is. Yeah,
Do you think it would do well as a TV series?
I think it would. Actually, they planned on making it like a movie or something at some point, but I don't think that actually ever came to
I
fruition. They
don't know how they
released
condensed the whole thing into one movie.
like
Yeah,
a
Yeah.
like
teaser, but it's a lot. Like it is a whole lot. So
from what you're telling me, this sounds like a TV series more than a movie.
yeah, I mean, there were like 10 books and like just like the base series alone, and then there were like expansions beyond
Yeah,
that as
there's so
well.
many series.
So
And the
you know,
interesting thing about that is that series, like I'm pretty sure most almost every book is different. Like there's some authors who've done two or three books inside the series, but each book is like written by a different author.
yeah, it's not all the same author,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I think is actually like really cool. But yeah,
Okay, wait, hold on.
so
One more. Have you guys
okay.
Okay.
ever read the Warrior series?
Oh, who
Yes.
hasn't, bro? Who has
Yeah.
not?
Okay,
Is that
well,
the one with the cats, right?
yeah, that was the one.
Yeah.
I
Okay,
did not
okay,
read it.
yeah.
I did not read it, but when I was in college, like when I was like starting freshman year, I tried out I tried like parliamentary debate, right? And parliamentary debates like kind of similar to public forum debate. It's like 2-on-2, except there's no like set resolution. It's not like we have where like like NSCA would just give us a resolution for like the month, right? Instead, you would make like a case for like just like on like any topic, and you would present that case, and the other team would have like 15 minutes or something to come up with like an on the spot case opposing that. Like, does
Okay,
that make sense? Make
seems kind
sense?
of fun.
Yeah, makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. So I ran into a Warriors case, like a case on like the Warriors book series. Basically, apparently there was like some like okay, there was like some cat or something like where like I mean there was like some like cat like like political feud or something where like you had like one cat who was like good and like their second command was like kind of evil, and so the first cat dies and they like give you power, I think. I mean like hypothetically in this
Yeah.
situation, and like apparently like the second command is like gonna kill you or something, so like you have the choice to either give him power or no. You are like the good cat. Like you are like the good, wise, like old cat, and you're about to die, right? And you have the choice to give power to your second command or to like this other dude. And like the other dude is apparently like a real good guy. So like if you give power like to the second command, like apparently like he's like some crazy warmonger and like he's like gonna start wars or some shit. Uh but if you give it to like the second guy, like the first guy might try to kill him and like plunge like the cat tribe into like civil war or whatever.
So
It was like honestly, it was so dumb, but it was so
How did
fun.
you come up
Like
with a case of this?
I literally went up there, right? I was like, all right. So like basically their case was making the argument that you should pass it on to the second command. And so we had to make an argument for like why you should pass it on to like the other dude. So I literally went up there. I was like, "Yo, so they're telling you that this cat is basically like a warmonger who's gonna try and seize power and like through his own means, like through violence if necessary, right? Basically, they're telling you that this cat is basically Cat Saddam Hussein, which means that you have to take any action that results in power not going to Cat Saddam Hussein. Because even if there is a possibility that Cat Saddam Hussein might try to seize power if you give it to the first cat, through and like plunge the cat tribe into civil war. If you give power to Cat Saddam Hussein, you know for an absolute certainty he's going to take power. He's going to start wars. Cat America is probably going to get like intervened or like something. There'd be like going to get like cat WMDs. It's going to be a shit show.
Christ.
Did you win? Did you
Did
win?
you know though that God, actually go ahead. Yeah.
Did you win, Noah?
No, it was a,
Imagine losing, dude. Imagine losing that to that case.
honestly, like, okay, one of the things about APTA or like American Parliamentary Debate is there were still a lot of judge screws. So many judge screws.
It's debate.
It's
What
debate.
else?
Like you're gonna have like
But
honestly, like the only reason why I didn't keep doing it was because I didn't have Viswa. Like if we're being real,
yeah,
'cause-
honestly, no, not gonna be so hard.
oh
No one
my
literally
god,
texted me one night and he was like, "Oh my god, I ran into this argument." I was like, "No, why don't you just say this?" And he was like, "Oh shit,
yeah,
you're
like
right." And I
leg-
was like,
like okay, like first off, just like most of my team just straight up wasn't as good as us. Like because like 99% of debaters aren't like TOC level, right? And like you don't kind of realize that until like you try and partner with them. I'm not saying that they were like dumb or anything, right? But they just straight up weren't as good at debate as Viswa and I.
I'm
But
not
like,
saying they're dumb, but they're just not smart.
exactly.
I mean, they could be smart in other areas. Like I don't know, like
They're just not good at debate.
yeah, it's not
They're
exactly
not fast on their feet.
like I remember like I was like literally telling my partner one round like, all right, say this and then this and then this and then this. They didn't say
Noah, this sounds like a very familiar story to me, but you're on the other end.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, basically. Now I know what Viswa felt. Right?
True.
But,
Okay.
like, okay, like honestly, like the worst part though was I didn't have this with salt to keep me fueled after we lost rounds. Because like every time we would get screwed, right? This one would just go omega salt. He would just be like, "Oh my god, we got screwed so hard. They're so stupid, man. They're
Dude, they're
so
actually
bad."
so bad, dude. They're actually so bad.
That would make me feel better, right? Like this was being toxic for the both of us. But like when we get screwed and I don't have Visceral with me, like I just feel bad. I'm just like, man, if I had Visceral with me, like he would be popping off. He would be going so
God, dude.
crazy. And like
Oh,
I don't know, and I just felt sad. The base is not the same without your boy.
dude, call me Viper. 'Cause I'm toxic. Ah.
He's toxic as fuck.
But with that cringy joke, I think it's time we end this very long episode
I think so.
of stating the obvious. So we thank all of y'all for listening this far, if any of you even made it this far. And stay tuned for more episodes of Stating the Obvious. Boggers. Boggerusu. We did it.